Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be looking into a theory on Link. A lot of debate has been going on with some getting really heated and aggressive. So I decided to post a poll on the community tab asking all of you who you thought the Sky Hero was. And I have to be honest, I've seen so many people thinking it is the ancient hero Ganon, a completely different Zonai character, or others, even Zelda. So I expected one of those to win with the most votes. And to my surprise, most people believe it is simply Link and not a secret character, which makes me think, judging by this, it's actually a very few people that believe it is someone other than Link. But those few people are commenting more than the people who just think it's Link, as a vocal minority. So I thought we could take a look at the facts and what we can actually see in the trailer, instead of speculation on what we think or who we just want him to be. Yes, playing as Ganon or another character would be amazing. I absolutely love time travel. Having that in the game would be amazing. Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, the Oracle games all had amazing time travel mechanics. Even Skyward Sword with the Gate of Time and the Time Shift Stones. And even the tiny bit of time travel in Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. It was all great. So I would love for it to be in the game. There's just no evidence at all to support this, and we will get into that in just a moment. One of the credible sources that says they work for Nintendo, we made a couple of videos on some information they gave us, most of which so far has turned out to actually be true, and you can go back and look at those videos for proof. One of the interesting things they said was, in Breath of the Wild 2, Link would have some sort of time control ability, and we actually see that. But he also said there was some form of time travel in the game as well, which we haven't seen. So time travel may be in Breath of the Wild 2. However, so far we have seen nothing that supports this idea. And with it being a new character, switching back and forth between Link, the Goron mask, the Zora mask, the Deku mask, and even the Fierce Deity mask, having those abilities and playstyles is amazing. And in Breath of the Wild 2, switching between Link and another character would be fantastic. Imagine rolling around Hyrule as a Goron, having your spikes go directly into a Lionel, rolling around the Gerudo Desert hitting giant ramps. It would be amazing. Swimming around all of the lakes and oceans in Hyrule as a Zora would be fantastic. If you could fly around as Revali or another character, again, it would be great. So yes, I would love for there to be a second or third playable character in this game, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. And we even have several interviews with Aonuma and others who say they would like to make a Zelda game where Zelda is playable, or they like the idea of Zelda and Breath of the Wild being playable. So we have interviews that hint towards this, but we have no evidence in the actual trailer. But let's look into this Sky Link and get all of the facts and details. If you find some that I forget to mention, please comment them down below. Really quick, we have a huge giveaway coming up soon when we hit 100,000 subscribers for a Nintendo Switch and Zelda Skyward Sword HD. All of the details are in the comments below, and we have a second giveaway starting now where we will pick the winner on our next episode of the 𝐓𝐼𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 Gamescast, our Zelda podcast that goes live every week. So on our next episode, we will be picking the winner. All you have to do to enter, leave a comment below on your thoughts on today's video, as well as a Zelda theory or Zelda topic that you would like us to discuss in our next video or on our podcast. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well, because if we end up using one of your theories or topics in our next video, we will give you a shout out and credit you for giving us the idea. To begin, a lot of people have said Link and the Sky Link have different paragliders, and this is evidence to show they are different people. However, this isn't true at all. We see the exact same paraglider through the whole trailer. Sky Hero and Champion Tunic Link both have the same design. So that debunks that theory. One of the biggest things people point out is the hair. Link's hair is longer. This proves it is a different person. Again, this isn't true at all. He just has his hair down. If we look at Breath of the Wild 1, we can see his hair is still the exact same length. It just appears shorter because in real life, that is what happens when you tie your hair up or have a ponytail. Whatever you want to call it. There are different styles, but always the same length. We can see this clearly. Even if his hair was longer, it would still make sense based on time passing between these two games. And Zelda also having a different length and style means that Link's hair could also have been different. There are many, many different outfits and hats or accessories that Link can use to completely change his hairstyle. Going along with the longer hairstyle, which again isn't true, leads some people to think this is Zelda, not Link, or a past hero. If we notice the outfit, it wouldn't be appropriate based on Nintendo's standards. As many people in the comments have said, there is absolutely no way this is Zelda, as her chest would be showing in the outfit. And that's a big no-no from Nintendo. Without even digging into details, we can see, yes, they both have the exact same body shape. They both have the exact same character movements. They both have the exact same quiver and arrows. They have the exact same hair length. They have the exact same paraglider. If it was a different character, you would imagine they would have different movements. Like in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, if you look at Zelda, if you look at Link, if you look at any of the other characters, they all have different movements and abilities. This Link moves the same way. What about his hand and the long fingernails? This is proof it's Ganon. Well, no. We see the spirit hand always had longer nails. When it takes over Link's hand, it doesn't just make his hand glow. We see the spirit hand become part of Link's hand. Link gains the long golden bracelet or whatever it is. He gains the symbols and everything. So why wouldn't his hand and fingers also resemble the spirit hand just as the rest of his arm is doing? And it isn't Ganon's hand, as we see the spirit is holding Ganon down, not helping him. And we also see it save Link, which Ganon wouldn't do. We see both of Ganondorf's hand along with the spirit hand. Okay, so when he is in the champion tunic, we don't see his hand glowing green. Exactly. Because he has long sleeves on, thanks to the new version of the champion tunic. His hand glows yellow instead of green when he reverses time. This proves they are different characters. Sort of. Yes, it's a different color, but he still has the ability to do magic from his hand, which he couldn't do in the original, which supports he is using the spirit hand, but it's simply covered up by his longer sleeves. Or it is possible it could be another ability, maybe using the power of a rune without the Sheikah Slate. Or maybe his new hand, or the bracelet, can use the power of the runes, such as stasis, just as the Sheikah Slate does. After all, the Sheikah Slate was created by the Sheikah. So maybe this bracelet was made with the same technology, and can use the runes, it's just not in tablet form, but bracelet form. We see other characters like 𝐴MPA and other Sheikah members that can just do magic without runes. So a rune isn't necessarily even needed for Link to use his new spirit hand to do magic. Even older Links like Ocarina of Time had stuff like Din's Fire. It's possible it could be another ability just like that. What about people saying it takes place 10,100 years ago, and it's Ganon or the past hero? Well, we can see windmills in the background that haven't aged at all. We can even see the Akkala Citadel. Everything is kind of where it's supposed to be. Yes, some areas look a little bit different, but even throughout the game of Breath of the Wild, you can find a lot of areas that end up looking different towards the end of the game compared to the beginning of the game. The world just naturally changes, especially now when we see things like the Hyrule Castle rising up in the air. So yes, other things will be rising up in the air as we see, making the land look a little bit different. When you first start Breath of the Wild, there are no shrines, there are no Sheikah towers. Everything is underground and hidden. And then all of a sudden we see earthquakes with all of this stuff rising out of the ground, completely changing some of the landscape. And then in the DLC, the same thing happens again with even more shrines coming up. Even all of the guardians and divine beasts were hidden underground and discovered, which we see in some of the cutscenes. The only thing at all to really support the theory is that he is wearing a green outfit. But it isn't the same style that we see in the artwork. And we know Link can wear many, many different outfits, and he can dye them any color he wants. Link is also usually wearing a green outfit of some kind, so it would make sense this past hero would also be wearing a green outfit, as almost every single Link does, including Breath of the Wild Link with the Tunic of the Wild. I think this is just one of the many outfits Link will likely get in this sequel. We see him in the champion outfit several times, and even in the first trailer. Personally, I think we will begin the game with this blue champion tunic. Later on in the game, at some point, we will receive this new outfit, and we can choose to wear it at any point. Just as we do with the Sheikah or Hylian outfits we find in Kakariko Village, or even the warm sweater while we're still on the Great Plateau. Even past games did this. Skyward Sword, we begin in this outfit, and after an hour or so, we receive Link's traditional green tunic. In Twilight Princess, we begin in this awesome outfit and only change to a different outfit after helping the Light Spirit. Wind Waker does the same thing. This is just how Zelda games are. We will probably be starting the game in the Champion's Tunic, and as we see in the caves and some of the other areas, and after these events with Zelda, Link gets his new outfit. Yes, it could be related to the Zonai, but that would just be speculation. We already have armor in the first Breath of the Wild that many people already believe is related to the Zonai, and there's nothing really special about those either. So why would this new outfit be so special, and not the outfit that some people believe is already Zonai? Yeah, it would be awesome for the Zonai to be in this game. It would be amazing to have time travel. It would be amazing to play as multiple characters. I think there is a huge chance based off of the interviews and stuff from Aonuma saying that he's open to the idea of being able to play as Zelda, which we did do in Age of Calamity, but Aonuma in interviews says he had absolutely nothing to do with Age of Calamity. He let the other team develop the story, cutscenes, attacks, everything. That was completely their idea. So if Aonuma wants to work on a Zelda game where Zelda is also playable, I think this will be the game. However, I do not think that Sky Hero is Zelda, as again her chest would be everywhere. Not appropriate from Nintendo. I think we will have some form of time travel, as I was told by a writer who did have a lot of other stuff correct that ended up coming true. So I also believe this. However, I also do not think the Sky Hero is showing the 10,000 years ago past. I don't really think Nintendo would give away something like that in one of the first trailers. Even the original Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, and other new games, they always say they are careful to not put too much in the trailers because they don't want to spoil anything. We barely seen anything off of the Great Plateau, the very beginning of the game, in the trailers. We seen some landscapes, but that was it. We didn't see anything that was past the first hour or so of Breath of the Wild until the game was almost out. And I think that's going to be the same with Breath of the Wild too, but I do expect a lot to come out soon. So thank you all for watching. Seriously, it means a lot if you stayed for all of this. Again, please subscribe. We have the 2 giveaways, one for a $20 eShop card, which we will announce the winner based on the comments below and the suggestions you give for new Zelda theories or new Zelda topics for us to discuss on our podcast, the 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, or even make a new original video out of. We will also give you a shout out if we do use one of your ideas. We would love for you to give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, or even join our Discord. Links to everything are in the description below.